The Facebook Bandit, two teenagers in Pennsylvania stole a car in 2015, but they wanted everyone to see how cool they were, so they went live on Facebook during the entire crime. The live stream showed them breaking the car window, climbing inside, hot-wiring the engine, and driving away laughing. Thousands of people watched in real time, including off-duty police officers scrolling social media. The cops didn't need to investigate anything. They just watched the stream, saw the teens' public profiles with their real names and addresses, and arrested them 3 hours later at home. The stolen car was parked right outside. During arrest, the teens asked how police found them so fast. Officers explained they broadcast their crime to the world. In court, the judge played their Facebook live stream showing their faces clearly committing every step of the theft. Both were convicted quickly. They basically created their own video confession and handed it to police with a bow on it. The Sleepy Burglar. A man in Ohio broke into a house through a basement window and searched bedrooms for valuables. He stuffed jewelry and cash into his jacket pockets until they were bulging. Then he walked through the living room and saw the most comfortable couch. Breaking in had exhausted him, so he decided to rest for just 5 minutes. He sat down, put his feet up, and fell into deep sleep. 2 hours later, the family came home and heard loud snoring from their living room. They found a stranger sprawled on their couch, mouth open, with stolen jewelry literally falling out of his pockets onto the carpet. They called 911 while standing guard. Police arrived and had to shake him repeatedly to wake him up. They shouted his name in his ear before he finally opened his eyes, saw the uniforms, and realized his horrible mistake. Officers said it was the easiest arrest ever. He was too groggy to even think about running. The see-through disguise. A Virginia man planned to rob a convenience store and knew he needed to hide his face. He found a clear plastic bag at home and pulled it over his head. He walked into the store at 11 p.m., and the cashier could see everything through the transparent plastic. His brown eyes, mustache, the mole on his cheek, even his crooked tooth. The plastic fogged up with each breath. He demanded money in a muffled voice. The cashier handed over cash while memorizing every facial feature perfectly. Security cameras captured crystal clear footage of his entire face through the see-through bag. After he left, she called police with the most detailed description they'd ever received. Police released the security images, and 3 neighbors recognized him within hours. He was arrested that evening. During interrogation, he genuinely seemed confused, saying, "But I was wearing a disguise." Officers had to explain that transparent plastic doesn't hide anything. It's like trying to hide behind a window. The identity giveaway. A Colorado man planned a bank robbery for weeks but forgot to write his demand note beforehand. In the bank, he found paper in his pocket and quickly scribbled, "Give me all the money." He handed it to the teller with a serious face. She read it, nodded, and started gathering cash. Then she casually flipped the paper over and froze. The note was written on his personal deposit slip with his full name, home address, phone number, and account number pre-printed on it. She calmly hit the silent alarm and handed him the money. He walked out thinking everything went perfectly. Police received the teller's report with his complete address printed right on the robbery note. They drove straight to his house and knocked on the door 45 minutes later. When he answered, stolen money was spread on his kitchen table behind him. The arresting officer said it was the easiest case in 20 years. The criminal had handed them his contact information during the robbery. The self-reporting criminal, a Florida drug dealer, came home to find someone had broken in and stolen all his drugs from his safe. Furious, he called 911 without thinking. He told the dispatcher, "I've been robbed. Someone stole all my drugs." The dispatcher asked him to confirm. He was reporting stolen illegal drugs? He said yes. He had thousands of dollars of product and wanted to file a report. Police arrived, and he eagerly showed them his empty safe, his scales, baggies, and even his customer notebook with names and amounts owed. Officers exchanged glances, then arrested him for possession with intent to distribute. He started yelling that he was the victim. They explained you can't report stolen property that's illegal to own. He'd voluntarily confessed to multiple felonies while asking for help. In court, prosecutors played his 911 call where his own voice admitted to drug dealing. The curious criminal returns. No. After robbing a California jewelry store at night and stealing $50,000 in watches and rings, this man got curious the next morning. He wanted to see the aftermath. Were police investigating? What were people saying? So he walked back into the same store wearing the same jacket, pretending to be a customer. He browsed and asked employees, "I heard you got robbed. Do police have any leads?" The store manager, Sarah, had been there during the robbery. She heard his voice and instantly recognized it. His accent, how he pronounced words. She saw the same jacket and walking pattern. She went to the back, called 911, and whispered the situation. Meanwhile, he kept shopping and chatting. Police arrived through the back entrance and arrested him while he examined rings. He seemed shocked they caught him. During interrogation, he admitted he wanted to see the investigation's progress. Security footage from both nights showed him in identical clothing. His curiosity got him 5 years. The slowest getaway ever. After robbing a Minnesota gas station at gunpoint, a man needed to escape fast. But he had no car. He spotted a motorized wheelchair in the parking lot and jumped on, pushing the joystick to maximum speed, exactly 4 miles per hour. The clerk called 911 immediately, reporting a robbery suspect escaping on a wheelchair heading north. Police responded and found him 2 blocks away. The entire chase took 30 seconds. An officer pulled up beside him and just walked alongside the wheelchair. "Sir, stop." The criminal desperately pushed the joystick forward, trying to go faster, but it was maxed out. Pedestrians were walking faster than him. The officer didn't even jog. He just strolled next to the wheelchair until backup arrived. The security footage showed him slowly rolling away while sirens got louder. In court, the judge played the video, and people struggled not to laugh. Even walking would have been faster. The stuck situation. A California burglar decided to rob a restaurant by entering through the roof ventilation system at 2 a.m., like in movies. He climbed up, removed a vent cover, and lowered himself feet first into the metal duct. Immediately, his shoulders wedged tight. He couldn't move up or down. His arms were pinned. He was stuck in darkness, screaming for help, but the street was empty. After 6 hours trapped, he managed to reach his phone and called 911, confessing he was stuck while breaking in. Firefighters arrived and spent 3 hours cutting through the ductwork to free him. When they finally pulled him out, he was covered in soot, bruised, and crying with relief. Police were waiting with handcuffs. He thanked officers while being arrested. The restaurant owner said he never would have known about the break-in if the burglar hadn't called for rescue. The evidence trail. A Texas burglar broke into a house, searched every room, and found jewelry, a laptop, and cash. He put everything in a pillowcase and climbed back out the broken window. His jacket caught briefly, and he yanked it free before jogging to his car. Police arrived 20 minutes later after a neighbor's call. A detective examining the floor near the window found a wallet lying open. Inside was the burglar's driver's license with photo, full name, and current address, plus credit cards and a family photo with his name on the back. Police drove straight to his address and knocked. When he answered, stolen jewelry sat on his kitchen table behind him. Officers held up his wallet. "Looking for this?" His face went white. He'd dropped it climbing through the window and never noticed. He kept repeating, "I can't believe I dropped my wallet." One detective said in 20 years, he'd never had a case this easy. Mid-crime distractions. A Florida burglar broke into a home and quickly found electronics, jewelry, and cash. But passing through the kitchen, he saw fresh ingredients on the counter. Eggs, bacon, bread, cheese. He was starving. The family had professional-grade appliances. He thought he had plenty of time before they returned. Security cameras captured him cooking for 45 minutes, whisking eggs, frying bacon, brewing expensive coffee. He plated everything beautifully, sat at the dining table, and ate slowly while checking his phone. The stolen items sat on the chair beside him. Meanwhile, the daughter forgot her laptop and convinced her mom to drive back. They arrived unexpectedly and found a stranger eating breakfast at their table with their belongings stacked nearby. Everyone stared in shock. He slowly lowered his fork and said, "This is really awkward." Police arrived 5 minutes later and found him still at the table finishing his coffee. If he'd just grabbed items and left, he'd have escaped. Instead, his appetite got him arrested, asking for directions. A New York man wanted to rob a specific Manhattan bank, but was lost. After wandering for 20 minutes, he saw a police officer directing traffic. Instead of avoiding him, he walked right up. "Excuse me, officer, can you tell me where the Chase Bank on Lexington Avenue is?" The friendly officer gave detailed directions. "Go 2 blocks that way, turn left, it's on your right." The man thanked him and followed those exact directions. 15 minutes later, the officer's radio crackled. "Robbery in progress at Chase Bank, Lexington Avenue." He froze. That was the exact bank. He immediately radioed a perfect description of the man who'd asked for directions minutes ago. Other officers spotted someone matching that description 3 blocks away with a bulging backpack full of stolen money. During arrest, the suspect kept asking, "How did you find me so fast?" At the station, the officer identified him as the same person. Detectives explained that asking a cop for directions to a bank, then robbing it, gave police a perfect eyewitness description before the crime even occurred. The police informant criminal. Derek worked as a police informant in Illinois for 6 months, helping catch criminals. He attended briefings, learned investigation techniques, and understood exactly how police solve cases, forensics, surveillance, common criminal mistakes. He was actually good at his job and helped arrest several dealers. Then he decided to use that knowledge himself. He robbed an electronics store, wearing gloves, disabling cameras properly by cutting specific wires, entering through a smart back entrance, targeting hard-to-trace items. The robbery was clean and professional. $30,000 in equipment stolen. Next morning, detectives examined the scene and something felt familiar. The camera sabotage was expert level, the entry point was intelligent, the items chosen were specifically discussed in their training. Detective Sarah said, "This looks like something Derek would know how to do." They compared the robbery methods to their training sessions with him. Everything matched perfectly. They called him in for questioning, and his nervousness gave him away instantly. He confessed. His police training made him recognizable, not invisible. His own teachers arrested him. The judge said he'd abused his position, and his sentence was enhanced. The ultimate idiot criminal. Robert in Arizona decided to rob a restaurant by entering through the roof ventilation system at 3 a.m. He climbed up, removed the vent cover, and lowered himself into the metal shaft feet first. His shoulders immediately wedged tight against the narrow walls, completely stuck. Arms pinned, unable to move up or down, trapped in darkness. He screamed for help for over an hour, but the street was empty. Finally, he wiggled one arm enough to grab his phone and called 911. "I'm stuck. I'm in the ventilation system. I was trying to break in." The dispatcher confirmed he was confessing to burglary while requesting rescue. "Yes, I don't care. Just get me out." Firefighters spent 2 hours cutting through metal ductwork to free him. When they pulled him out after 6 hours stuck, he was crying with relief. But police were waiting. When they searched him, they found burglary tools in his backpack and methamphetamine in his pocket. So he'd called 911 himself, confessed to attempted burglary on a recorded line, required a 2-hour rescue operation, and was found with drugs during the rescue. The restaurant owner said he never would have known about the break-in if Robert hadn't reported himself. In court, prosecutors played the 911 confession. Robert got 4 years for attempted burglary, drug possession, and burglary tools. He combined every possible mistake into one spectacular failure: terrible planning, getting stuck, self-reporting, and additional crimes all in one night.